Hello and welcome to Newswire LA. I'm your host, Chin Thammasaengsri. Today we're going to bring you a special edition of the broadcast in which we take a look back at the Honda Los Angeles Marathon. As you know, every year in March, the marathon is run through the city of Los Angeles. Well, at one time it was just the city of Los Angeles. Now it includes the city of Los Angeles, West Hollywood, Beverly Hills, and Santa Monica in a course that is called the Stadium to the Sea. Over the course of 5 years, I had a chance to participate in the marathon as a runner from the years of 1997 through 2001. But never have I had the opportunity of participating as a broadcaster. Well, that all changed when they had the 26th running of the marathon. Our friends over at packbodytv.com hired me and members of the Newswire crew to cover the 26th running of that marathon, and we did. It was an amazing experience seeing the marathon from a whole different point of view. So we thought that it might be a great idea that since we're getting close to the running of the next marathon, that we rebroadcast the highlight show that was created for that particular event. So what you're about to see is a highlight reel of the running of the 26th Honda Marathon. And again, it's brought to you by our friends at packbodytv.com and Newswire LA. So sit back, enjoy, and we'll see you after the broadcast with more comments and thoughts. It's Sunday, March 20th, 2011, and we're coming to you from Dodger Stadium here in Los Angeles. This is PackBody.tv's highlights of the Honda Los Angeles Marathon presented by K-Swiss. It's a cloudy and cold Los Angeles morning out here. Today's forecast calls for rain, heavy at times, to come down in the Los Angeles metropolitan area. That will certainly put a new dynamic on this race for sure. I'm your host, Chin Thammasaengsri, coming to you from the PackBody.tv studios in Mid-City. Capturing this event live is our cameraman, Benjamin Sisko, who will be riding the full 26.2-mile course today as we cover the elite men's race. In covering this race, Benjamin and I are afforded somewhat of an honor. We're broadcasters who, at one time, ran this race as runners. Neither of us were elite runners, not by a long shot. But the fact that we ran will allow us to give you unique insights into the marathon experience, and we're excited to be doing that today. What you're looking at right now are the crowds of runners, walkers, wheelchair racers, and others who are gathering at the start line to begin the race. This morning's lineup will take place as follows. The wheelchair race will begin at 6:53 a.m. The elite women's race will begin at 7:11 a.m. And finally, the elite men's race will begin at 7:28 a.m. While we wait for the wheelchair race to get underway, you can see that Los Angeles Mayor Antonio Villaraigosa, along with race owner Frank McCourt, are taking a short tour near the media staging area. Frank McCourt, the owner of the Dodgers, bought the marathon in 2008. Prior to his ownership, the marathon ran exclusively within the city of Los Angeles' boundaries and was known as the City of Los Angeles Marathon. McCourt reworked the entire route and involved the cities of Beverly Hills, West Hollywood, and Santa Monica in a course that became known as the Stadium to the Sea. What you're looking at are the 26,000 runners who have gathered to run the 26.2-mile course. Out there are runners of varying skill levels, ranging from the novice to the semi-professional. Immediately out front, you can see the wheelchair racers who are patiently waiting for the horn to sound. That sound will begin their race day. The clock strikes 6:53 a.m. and the horn sounds. The wheelchair racers are off and rolling. Like their biped counterparts, they will attempt to cover this 26.2-mile course and crown a winner at the very end. The wheelchair race tends to be one of the most poignant and moving events in the marathon. These racers have real heart, and they show it every time they take the course. The next race, which will be the elite women, is not due to start for another 20 minutes. In the meantime, the spirit's really starting to kick up here at the start line and in the media staging area. An a cappella group has come out and is singing God Bless America. Let's listen in for a few moments. There's nothing like a great song to get this race morning going. I'm hearing in my earpiece from Ben that the elite women are starting to gather at the starting line. I really have to take my hat off right now for Ben Sisko. He arrived at Dodger Stadium at about 4:30 and actually made it over to the media staging area about 5:30 after a series of goofs and gaffes. Again, if you look just behind the elite women who are here this morning, you'll see the rest of the racing field. Looking at the elite women, we can see a number of countries are being represented here. They include Ethiopia, Russia, Kenya, Japan, Kazakhstan, and the good old USA, of course. Speaking of the women, the question always comes up as to why, in Los Angeles, the women run ahead of the men instead of starting at the same time. Well, the reason is something called the Los Angeles Marathon Challenge. The Los Angeles Marathon Challenge started in 2004, and basically, the first man or woman who crosses the finish line will earn an extra $100,000 in addition to their race prize. Now, they determine how much of a lead the women get based on a handicap, and that comes from a circulation of differences in the lifetime bests among the top-seeded men and women runners. Since the challenge was started in 2004, 3 men and 3 women have won the challenge. The only question to be answered on this race morning is who will be next. The horn sounds and the elite women are off and running. Now taking their place at the starting line are the elite men. The men will have to close the 18-minute gap that will exist between them and the women if they are to catch up and win the Los Angeles Marathon Challenge. While we wait for the horn to sound that will begin the elite men's race, let's take a look at the course the runners will follow. The runners will start at Dodger Stadium and head down a series of winding roadways. Those roadways will lead into downtown Los Angeles. From there, they will head into the Silver Lake District and link up with Sunset Boulevard. The runners will move into Hollywood and will continue into the city of West Hollywood. After running through West Hollywood via Santa Monica Boulevard, they will enter the city of Beverly Hills. They will return to the city of Los Angeles on the west side via Santa Monica Boulevard again. The runners will head through the campus of the Veterans Administration, which will put them on almost their last leg into the city of Santa Monica. In Santa Monica, the runners will run the scenic San Vicente Boulevard and finish their 26.2-mile journey on Ocean Avenue on the Santa Monica beachfront. Getting back to the starting line, it's almost 7:29 a.m. The horn that sounds this race will also unleash the throng of 26,000 runners and others who are just behind the elite men. I can tell you from having been there that there's an incredible energy shooting through these runners who have no stake in the grand prize, but are ready to take on the challenge of beating this course. And there goes the horn. The elite runners and everyone else are on their way. Ben Sisko, who's on the race truck, has one of the best vantage points of anyone around. Worth mentioning is that among the other runners in this race are members of several well-known clubs. The first are the Los Angeles Roadrunners. Both Ben and I were members of that team and have finished all 5 marathons under that banner. The Roadrunners were formed by the LA Marathon over a quarter of a century ago and are still making things happen. The next group is the Los Angeles Leggers. The Leggers, who started out as members of the Roadrunners, broke away and formed their own team. Since that time, they have become a pretty aggressive group of competitors in their own rights in this race. There are several teams who are representing causes ranging from diabetes research to AIDS awareness. Among them are a great group of students called Students Run LA. The Students Run LA group is made up of students from the Los Angeles Unified School District who go through weeks upon weeks of endurance training and race here with everyone else on race day. The runners you're seeing are heading out of the Dodger Stadium parking lot, which, just in case you wanted to know, is at an elevation of 505 feet above sea level. The race is just starting, but don't forget the weather conditions we're dealing with this morning. Today's forecast, according to AccuWeather.com, calls for a quarter to a half inch per hour of rain. The National Weather Service has already issued flood advisories for LA, Orange County, Riverside, San Bernardino, and the Inland Empire. The high for this day will be somewhere in the mid-50s. The normal temp on this date, though, is usually somewhere in the 70s. It isn't long before a lead pack of runners forms, consisting of several elite runners. The pack will stay together for many miles, and the leaders of the pack will change several times over. The group is creating a pace that they can set for themselves and the race. At some point, of course, someone's going to break free and attempt to take the lead all by themselves. But you got to remember, planning is crucial here. If a runner breaks out too early, they risk burning themselves out in terms of just tiring themselves out, using up their energy, and using up their stamina. If you break away from the pack too late in the race, you might find yourself too far behind the leader, whoever that might be, to even catch and pass them. Your chance at winning this race might be gone if you wait too long. The whole business of marathoning is just using your energy and your skills wisely, which is what this group of runners will try to do. Stepping out ahead of the pack is runner Benjamin Mayo of Kenya. Mayo is wearing bib number 2. Mayo's best race time was 2 hours, 7 minutes, and 9 seconds in the 2005 Chicago Marathon. Mayo would lead this particular pack of runners in Los Angeles for a significant amount of time and miles.